Animals that nature does not want to succeed. We often think that evolution has our best interests at heart. As humans, you could say that we've evolved quite a bit and that those changes have been mainly positive. For example, did you know that our ability to digest milk after weaning has only emerged quite recently? But what about those animals that have had a less fortunate hand, evolutionarily speaking? From a bird that stops moving completely when faced with a predator to an animal that's own growth can be lethal. Today on Animal Shelter, we're going to be taking a look at some of the animals that nature just doesn't want to succeed. Number 10. Komodo Dragons. Starting off the list of animals that haven't quite mastered evolution is an animal that could take a few tips from Weight Watchers. At number 10, the Komodo dragon is the largest member of the lizard family, and with that comes one pretty large mouth, which is where much of the Komodo's troubles begin. Not only do Komodos have massive jaws, but their incredibly large mouths contain some of the most bacteria in the animal kingdom. Specifically, a Komodo's bite contains enough E. coli to kill much larger animals. They then wait a few days for the animal to die before they enjoy a bountiful feast. Unfortunately for the Komodo, they truly lack portion control. A Komodo can enjoy a meal of up to 80% of their body weight. However, this extra weight is costly and makes them slow in the face of danger. If a Komodo senses danger, they will vomit in exchange for increased speed and hope that the predator will choose their leftovers instead of them. Maybe the Komodo dragon would fare better if they invested some time in meal prep. Number 9. Tree Sloth. In our modern society that celebrates toxic hustle culture, maybe we could all learn a thing or two from the tree sloth. Or maybe not. At number 9, the tree sloth has to be one of the slowest creatures in the animal kingdom. Although there is much to be said about the benefits of relaxation, the tree sloth has such a slow reaction time that will even fail to save itself from a fall. Speed in the face of danger is not the only element of sloth living that lags a bit behind. A sloth's digestive system takes about a week to fully metabolize nutrients from food. As a result of their sluggish digestion rate, some sloths have been found starved to death while having a full stomach. Furthermore, sloths have such little available energy that they often skip grooming altogether, and their hair becomes overtaken by algae, fungi, and bacteria. They are absolutely cute, just don't expect them to be in a hurry to meet you. Number 8. Panda Bear. Next up, and in close competition on the cuteness scale with the tree sloth, is the Panda Bear. Unfortunately for the panda bear, evolution doesn't take into account dietary preferences, which adds the panda to our list. It's widely known that the panda enjoys a diet mainly of bamboo. However, as with many other bears, the panda is technically considered a carnivore by the scientific community. Despite the panda's digestive system that is not designed for an herbivore diet, the panda stubbornly sticks to a vegetarian meal plan. Also, the panda has faced evolutionary difficulties that have landed it on the endangered species list. Some of the causes for their shrinking numbers are self-inflicted. For one, it has been statistically shown that pandas lack an interest in procreation. That is, sex is not a priority for pandas. Also, it has been known that mother pandas at times will violently kill their own offspring. While not up for Parents of the Year, pandas are still incredibly cute, even considering their evolutionary woes. Number 7. The Kiwi. Surprisingly, this next animal comes from a long line of much bigger relatives. At number 7, the kiwi, although not much bigger than a rooster, belongs in an unusual group of larger flightless birds like ostriches and emus. Although scientists are not sure exactly how the kiwi became native to New Zealand, they are now the country's symbol. Not bad for a bird that can't fly. Kiwis are a unique species with traits that are more similar to mammals than other birds. Things get interesting when we consider the fact that the kiwi's eggs are much larger, 6 times to be exact, than normal for birds of a similar size. Carrying such a large egg is troublesome for kiwi mothers. Kiwi eggs place so much pressure on the mother's organs that eating sometimes becomes impossible until the egg is laid. Slowed down by their large egg size and combined with their flightlessness, kiwis are unfortunately a prime target for predators. Number 6. Babarusa. This next animal's name is actually a combination of 2 other animals. Coming in at number 6, the Babarusa, which translates to pig deer in Malay, is a wild pig native to the Indonesian islands. Unlike their other tusked counterparts, elephants, wild boars, and walruses, whose tusks serve a variety of purposes, the Babarusa presents a unique conundrum. The Babarusa's tusks are too weak for battle, leaving many experts to wonder, what are they for? Some claims suggest that the Babarusa's tusks are simply used to attract mates. Since the Babarusa's tusks are part of mating, evolution ensures that they will be present for generations to come. Unfortunately for some male Babarusas, this can be dangerous. That's right, the male Babarusa's tusks have been known in some species, such as the North Sulawesi Babarusa, to grow in a way that actually ends up killing the animal. Experts at the San Diego Zoo explain how the tusks are essentially canine teeth that grow and curve back toward the forehead. Since the Babarusa's use of their tusks is limited, they will continue to grow until they reach and pierce through the skull. Essentially, the Babarusa will eventually give itself an unfortunate lobotomy. Yikes. Number 5. Horses. When you think of horses, it's hard to imagine their evolutionary faults. After all, for centuries, we have relied on them for transportation, sport, and recreation. However, evolution made some mistakes when it comes to horses as well, adding them to the list at number 5. For one, horses can weigh up to 1 ton or 2,000 pounds. Their sheer mass can have devastating consequences. Leg injuries are notoriously lethal to horses. By design, a horse's leg bones are superior in strength, but in order to give the animal speed, they are also extremely light. Often a simple break of a horse's leg shatters the bone and can even puncture the skin. Unfortunately, most leg injuries result in the animal's death. Horses are also nose breathers, meaning they can't take in oxygen through their mouths. This is due to evolutionary designed breathing systems that are specialized to the animal's unique respiratory needs. As a result, any blockage to a horse's nose can be catastrophic. In this way, horses must take extra precautions around cold and flu season. Number 4. Mouthless Luna. Remember the panda with the low libido? Well, this next animal is quite the opposite. In fact, the Mouthless Luna is a species with only one purpose in life: to mate. The Mouthless Luna is a species of moth that lives among the forests of North America and Canada, blending in with the landscape by sporting a lime appearance. Unfortunately for the Mouthless Luna, their time is short. By only living about 1 week and needing that time to carry out their primary mission in life, mating, the Luna forgoes other less important activities like eating and digesting. According to experts at the University of Florida, the Luna moth's mouth is completely useless. Coupled with having a pointless mouth is the fact that they have also no digestive system. In fact, the Luna moth relies completely on baby fat from its caterpillar days to supply the energy it needs in adulthood. Once the pupal stage ends, the Luna moth pumps hemolymph, the moth's version of blood, to the wings, which allows it to fly. Impressively, the male Luna moth can travel far and wide in search of a mate. When it does, a mating ritual takes place as the female Luna lays her eggs, around 200, on a leaf of her choosing. When the eggs hatch, usually after a week and a half, their short life cycle and sole purpose of mating begins again. Number 3. Kakapo. Next up, coming in at number 3, the kakapo is a parrot who got the short end of the evolutionary stick. Kakapos are found only in New Zealand, remember the Kiwi, and are totally unique. Like the Kiwi, they are a flightless bird. However, they are also one of only 2 nocturnal parrots in the world. They are also quite heavy, weighing up to 9 pounds, and combined with having short wings, the kakapo remains grounded. They do have strong legs, which gives them the ability to climb trees while on the search for food. As the kakapo waddles around their habitat, occasionally they will encounter predators, mainly mammals that invaded New Zealand along with European colonizers around the 1800s. What does the kakapo do in the face of danger? Well, unfortunately, they just stop moving completely in hopes to remain unseen. This rarely works in their advantage. In addition, some kakapos release a sweet odor to find potential mates. Unfortunately, this odor also works well in alerting certain predators, like non-native dogs and cats that the kakapo didn't evolve to fight. Thanks, Mother Nature. Number 2. Spotted hyena. At the number 2 spot is a species that enjoys a good laugh. Well, at least to humans. The vocalizations of the spotted hyena sound a lot like laughter. To other hyenas, however, these sounds are a method of communication, and variations in their pitch can signal the difference between a warning and a celebration. Many of us are familiar with the cry of the spotted hyena, but a lesser-known reproductive fact is what lands the spotted hyena on our list. Evolution hasn't quite provided a better scenario for the hyena's reproduction. In fact, the female hyenas are usually bigger and more aggressive than the males and also outrank them. Interestingly enough, female spotted hyenas actually have genitals that more closely resemble the male penis. Yes, you heard that right. Hyena cubs actually are birthed through penile-like canals, and the process is both painful as well as dangerous for the female spotted hyena. Number 1. Koala. Last on our list and coming in at number 1 is truly one of the most evolutionary unequipped animals of all time. The koala takes the cake as both the cutest and also the stupidest species on our list. For one, this cuddly creature has one of the smallest brain-to-body ratios in the mammal family. In fact, their small and smooth brains cause them to have limited neuron capacity and an even smaller capacity to cope with change. That is, a koala is unable to recognize their own favorite food, eucalyptus leaves, when they are plucked from a branch. Surrounded by leaves, a koala would starve to death before they recognize them as food. Additionally, this choice in diet is troublesome for the koala, as eucalyptus leaves, aside from having hardly any nutritional value, are actually poisonous. Initially, koalas raise their young called joeys on milk. But when the time comes to transition to the poisonous and hard-to-digest eucalyptus, the joey will instead get nutrients from its mother's fecal pap, or less digested excrement, aka poop. What happens when eating all these leaves erodes away the koala's teeth? You guessed it. The koala would actually starve to death before choosing a different meal. In the animal kingdom, it really doesn't pay to be a picky eater. That wraps up our list of animals that got the short end of the evolutionary stick. Let us know in the comments section which of these animals is your favorite or which you feel the most sorry for. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more videos coming soon. In the meantime, check out this video about these animals that are probably richer than you.